The Pythagorean theorem. In a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Now, what exactly does that mean? Let's look at this triangle that I've just drawn. Now remember, a right triangle is one with a 90-degree angle. It's a right triangle. These two parts of the triangle we often call the legs, okay? And then the longest side of the triangle is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, that is the longest side of the triangle. So let's look at another one. Let's try another right triangle here. Remember, right, because it's 90 degrees. Let's make that more look like a degree sign. And then we have side A, side B, and side C. Side C is our hypotenuse. So let's say that we've been told that our sides are 5 and 12. The question is what is side C? So remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we will simply substitute. 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. This gives us 25. Plus 144 equals c squared. 169 equals c squared. And then we will take the square root of both sides, which gives us c over here, and 13. So our side C is 13. You can also use it to find one of the legs of the triangle. So let's say we have another right triangle, and we've been told that this side is 5 and this side is 15. So our question is what is that side? Remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Here's our a, our b, and our c, and so we will fill in what we know. We know a is 5, so 5 squared. We don't know what our b is. We know our c is 15. 5 squared is 25. 15 squared is 225. Next, we will subtract 25 from both sides, and we will get b squared is 200. Because remember, these will cancel. Take the square root of both sides. B is the square root of 200, which is approximately 14.1421. So it's approximately 14, because these aren't always going to be whole numbers when you solve these problems. But let's look at another one that is a whole number. Let's go back to that triangle. Remember, right, 90 degrees, where we know that the hypotenuse, that longest side, is 15. Instead of this side being 5, we're going to make it 9, and we do not know what this side is. So we've got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, a B, C. So 9 squared. We still don't know what our B is. 15 squared. This gives us 81 plus B squared equals 225. Subtract 81 from both sides, just like we're solving an equation, because that's what we're doing. These cross out. B squared equals 144. And we're going to take the square root of both sides, and we're left with B is equal to 12. So our mystery side here is 12. Now you can also use the Pythagorean theorem not just if you are given specifically a right triangle. Let's say you're given a square. Okay? And you're asked to figure out the diagonal of a square, and you're told that both sides are 1 square, so the sides are the same. Well, remember, a square is made up of 90-degree angles, so right here we have a right triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. In this case, this is our A and our B, and our C squared is this hypotenuse, or the diagonal of the square. All you need to do is fill in what you know. We know that the A is 1, so we've got 1 squared plus 1 squared equals C squared. This gives us 1 plus 1 equals C squared. 2 equals C squared. We're going to take the square root of both sides, and so we get the square root of 2 equals C. And that is our hypotenuse, the square root of 2, which is also the diagonal of our square. You can also use the Pythagorean theorem to solve other problems. Let's say that we have a building, and 24 feet up in the air there is a window that we are trying to reach to clean. And we have a ladder that is 25 feet long. So we've got a 25-foot ladder, and we've got a window that's 24 feet up into the air. So the question is how far from the base of the building should we put it? So we're going to go back to our formula. Okay, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember, our longest side is our C, that's our hypotenuse. We've got A and B. So we fill in what we know. A is 24, so 24 squared, plus B, we do not know what our B is, so that's our mystery number, plus 25 feet squared. Oh, look at that. How about I make it equals? Okay, 24 squared plus B squared equals 25 squared. And now we're simply going to solve it. 24 squared is 576 plus B equals 625. We're going to subtract 576 from both sides. Remember, these cancel, and we get B squared equals 49. We're going to take the square root of both sides, and we get that B is equal to 7. So this means that we would need to place our ladder 7 feet away from the base of the house. So remember, the Pythagorean theorem is used with right triangles. That means they are 90 degrees. We call our legs A and B. Our hypotenuse, which is the longest side, we always label as C. That's our hypotenuse, longest side. And in the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And that's all you need to know to be able to solve any kind of problem that involves a right triangle.